guys, it's Tammy from LOL Custom Crafty Creations, and I am here with my Oops Baby. And today we're going to discuss how to brush out your doll's hair and get it ready for styling, dyeing, or doing whatever it is that you would like to do. So keep in mind, all the hair for all the dolls is actually rooted in little holes in the scalp, and it's glued from the inside. So if you're not careful with brushing it out and you just try to abuse it with a regular hairbrush, odds are you'll probably end up ripping some of the hair out, and then you'll have a bunch of bald spots, which isn't very fun. So I'm going to show you a good way to go about safely brushing it and getting it ready to do whatever it is that you need to do with it. So I've already got her ponytails cut out, and so we're ready to move forward. And my handy dandy little brush that I showed last segment is actually a flea and tick brush, or a hair lice brush. I like this brush because it has metal teeth, and they are obviously fine and very close together. They're great for obviously pulling out the rubber bands for the hair and brushing through the doll's hair, because the hair is pretty fine, and with the glue being in it from either if you style it or just basically from MGA, how they send it to you. This one's not as crunchy, but some are pretty thick and crunchy, so it works through it pretty good. So I generally start by holding onto the doll and just starting at the tip of the hair, because if you start at the top, odds are you're going to end up ripping something out and causing more problems. So I try to at least brush it up and get it where it's not as hard. Now, if you are having issues and it is one of those that's really difficult to get through and your brush is not quite cutting it, and make sure as you're brushing it too that you are actually holding onto the hair. That is one major thing. So at least if you are having some difficulties and it's catching and there's knots, so you're not ripping it out from the base of the scalp with having lots of hair flying out and then lovely bald spots. Because these dolls don't generally have a ton of hair. Oops Baby does have a lot of hair, but like dolls like Her Majesty, it's really thin, so you can't really afford to lose any. But if you're having issues with it not being able to be brushed out, you can get it wet with really hot water, and that will help dissolve any of the glue that is in it already. I generally like to brush it through when it's dry, just to get any of the tangles out, because any of us that have curly hair naturally, if you've already got a tangle in there and you get it wet, it doesn't always cooperate better just because it's wet. So that's why I try to do it this way first, and then if it's really, really bad, then I'll get it wet, and then sometimes I've even used some conditioner to help get through, but thankfully with these I don't generally have too many issues. So, and just to show you a difference, so the first side I did where it was dry, and here's a little cup of water, and I'm just going to get it damp. And it's not really going through much better. Like once I get going, it is a little bit, but it's about the same. So, but in the beginning, it's got a lot more resistance, especially up towards the scalp. So, but definitely try to brush through it and go at your own pace. Don't be too rough with it, and make sure to hold on and grasp it as you go. And once you get to that point, if you are just wanting to wash it or anything like that, feel free to do. You can use whatever you want. There isn't anything that I've found that damages or does anything bad to the hair, so you can treat it like regular. If you're getting ready to dye it, there's two different things that you can use for hair dye, and one of them is the RIT Dye-More Synthetic fabric dye, and that one is very good to use for dyeing the doll's hair. Also, you can use regular hair dye for people. I've only found that one, the only difference is it takes a lot longer to actually get it to hold into the hair and actually stay there. It's taken probably about double the time as it would for regular hair. So if that's something that you have the time to do, that's awesome, more power to you, and it is a good option sometimes because you can't always find the colors you're looking for in the fabric dye. But you can also mix the colors for the fabric dye, and I do like using the fabric dye because at least with that, it's not just a one-time use, so there's not as much waste going on. So cost-wise, the synthetic fabric dye is about $5 at Walmart, and it's at any of your Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, Meyer, things like that. So you can find that pretty much anywhere. And then the cheapest I found regular hair dye to be is about $3 at Walmart for a box. So just a heads up on that. If you are doing a JoJo doll, just so you know, when you're getting ready to do their hair, you do need to, if you pull up the bangs a little bit and look at them, there's actually the longer portions of hair that's threaded in between the bangs. So another reason why I like this tool is because then I can use the teeth and pull that front layer of longer hair up. So it'll help you out in the process. So once you're going to style her hair, as long as you've got those long hairs pulled in front, it will help actually hold those bangs back. Now, when you go to style the hair, I do use the Elmer's Craft Bond Quick Dry Glue. This works really good. I just squirt some in the hair, and then I use my brush to brush it back in, and then brush it and get it in the position I want, and then obviously put it in a ponytail. But that's one of the big things. Make sure you use the glue if you want to get it to actually stay permanently, kind of thing. I mean, it's not permanent, but it will stay for pretty good and keep control of the hair for the most part. If you want a more flexible glue to be put in the hair, you can use the regular Elmer's glue in some water, and then you at least will have it more pliable. It won't be as hard. This one will make it quite hard because it's going to make it stay in one spot. So just an idea of something that you could use. And now that your doll's hair is brushed through and ready to go, you can decide what you're going to do with it. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything that you would like to see me show you or discuss in another segment, feel free to drop a comment. Make sure you subscribe so that you can get updates on any videos that I do post in the future. And make sure to like us on Instagram at LOL Custom Crafty Creations, and our Facebook group is also the same, LOL Custom Crafty Creations. Everyone is welcome, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for viewing. Bye!